Welcome to Audiobook Bay, where great books come to life. Today, we're diving into Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins, a transformational guide to personal power and unlimited potential. This book teaches us that the giant lives within every single one of us. We all have untapped reservoirs of strength, creativity, and resilience just waiting to be unleashed. Tony Robbins has spent decades helping millions of people access their greatest power, and in this book, he shares the psychology, strategies, and disciplines that make real transformation possible. The central insight is this: you already have everything you need to succeed. You're not waiting for some external validation or permission. The power is inside you right now. Awaken the Giant Within isn't a theoretical exercise. It's a practical playbook for taking control of your life, transcending your limitations, and becoming the person you're capable of becoming. Whether you're struggling with your career, your relationships, or your sense of purpose, this book offers frameworks that work. Millions have used Robbins' principles to create breakthrough results, and now you can too. From corporate leaders to athletes to stay-at-home parents, people from every walk of life have found these principles transformative and immediately applicable to their unique situations. Before we dive into the 10 takeaways that will transform how you think about your life, let's understand what Robbins means by awakening the giant within. For most of us, this giant has been asleep our entire lives. We've settled for less than we're capable of. We've accepted limitations that were never actually ours. We've followed scripts written by people who didn't believe in us. The giant within is the awakened version of you. It's the version that knows you're worthy. It's the version that takes risks and creates results. It's the version that others want to follow. The good news is that this version of you is not a future achievement. That giant is here right now, waiting to be activated. Takeaway 1: your decisions shape your destiny more than any circumstance ever could. We often tell ourselves that our conditions define us, that we are victims of our environment or our past. But the truth is far more empowering. Every single day, you are making decisions about how to interpret events, where to focus your attention, and what actions to take. It's those decisions, not the hand you were dealt, that create your life. This is the foundation of personal power. When you stop blaming circumstances and start owning your choices, everything changes. Takeaway 2: your beliefs act as filters for reality and governors on your potential. We all operate within invisible boundaries set by our beliefs about what's possible for us. If you believe you're not creative, you'll miss creative opportunities all around you. If you believe you can't earn more money, your brain will defend that belief by keeping you stuck. Your beliefs literally delete information that contradicts them. The first step to transformation is examining your core beliefs and deciding which ones serve you and which ones sabotage you. Robbins teaches that changing a belief is absolutely possible when you gather enough new evidence. This is why testimonies and stories of others succeeding are so powerful. They provide evidence that what you thought was impossible is actually possible. Takeaway 3: you must master the two forces that drive all human behavior: pain and pleasure. Every choice you make is an attempt to move toward pleasure or away from pain. The person who smokes, the person who eats too much, the person who stays in a dead relationship, they are all being driven by the pain-pleasure principle. They've linked pleasure to that behavior or pain to the alternative. Once you understand this, you can reprogram your associations and link pain to the behaviors you want to avoid and pleasure to the behaviors that serve you. This is extraordinarily powerful because you can reshape your own neurological wiring. Takeaway 4: values clarification is the foundation of extraordinary results. Most people never take time to clearly define what they value most in life. This creates internal conflict and inconsistent action. You end up pursuing things that don't actually matter to you while neglecting what does. When you know with absolute clarity what you value, whether it's health, freedom, family, or growth, every decision becomes easier. You're no longer pulled in 100 different directions. You're moving in alignment with what matters most. This creates a life of integrity and fulfillment. Robbins has his clients rank their values and then examine how they are actually living. The gap between stated values and lived values is where most suffering lives. Takeaway 5. State management is the secret to peak performance and emotional resilience. Your mental and physical state determines the quality of your life in every moment. Two people can face identical circumstances and have completely different experiences based on their state. The person in a resourceful state sees opportunity. The person in a disempowered state sees only obstacles. Robbins teaches specific techniques for changing your state, your posture, your breathing, your focus to instantly access your greatest power and resourcefulness. These aren't visualizations or wishful thinking. They're neurological hacks based on how your body influences your mind. When you change your physiology, standing tall, breathing deeply, moving with purpose, your psychology follows. This is one of the most powerful and immediately applicable teachings in the book because you can use it right now, in any moment you need a shift. Takeaway 6. Identity transformation is more powerful than goal setting alone. Most people focus on what they want to achieve, but the more effective approach is to decide who you want to become. Instead of just setting a goal to exercise more, you become someone who values their health. Instead of just deciding to save money, you become someone who's financially responsible. This identity-based approach creates lasting change because it aligns every decision with your evolved sense of self. When your identity shifts, your behavior naturally follows. You're no longer relying on willpower, you're operating from your core identity. This is why people who successfully transform their lives report that it felt natural. They weren't fighting themselves. They'd become a different person. Takeaway 7. Relationships improve dramatically when you truly understand others' maps of reality. Everyone sees the world through a unique lens shaped by their experiences, values, and personality. When you stop expecting others to see things the way you do and instead work to understand their perspective, something magical happens. Conflict dissolves. Intimacy deepens. You become someone others truly want to be around. This is about genuine curiosity and respect for differences, not manipulation or agreement. This principle transforms not just romantic relationships, but friendships, work relationships, and family dynamics. When people feel truly understood, they relax. They open up. Real connection becomes possible. Takeaway 8. The quality of your questions determines the quality of your life. Your brain is a phenomenal goal-seeking mechanism, but it can only pursue answers to the questions you ask it. If you ask disempowering questions like, "Why am I so stupid?" your brain will find evidence to support that. If you ask empowering questions like, "What can I learn from this situation?" you access your genius and creativity. Master this habit and watch how your experience transforms. The same situation yields completely different results depending on the questions you ask. This is why the best leaders, the most resilient people, ask themselves powerful questions. They've discovered that their internal dialogue creates their internal experience. Takeaway 9. Taking massive action is non-negotiable for creating change. You can have perfect clarity and optimal state, but without action, nothing changes. Massive action isn't about working harder, it's about channeling your energy into activities that move you toward your outcome. The people who achieve their dreams aren't smarter or luckier, they simply take more action and adjust based on results. They're comfortable with failure because they know it's just feedback, not rejection of them as a person. What's interesting is that taking action not only creates results, it also builds confidence and momentum. The more you act, the more you learn. The more you learn, the better your actions become. This creates an upward spiral of increasing effectiveness and capability. Takeaway 10. Your past does not equal your future, but your present action does. No matter what happened to you or what you've done, you have within you the power to create something different starting right now. The giant within isn't some future version of you that you need to become. That giant is already here. Today is the day to awaken it. One more insight that ties everything together. Robbins teaches that success is predictable. It's not some mystical force reserved for the lucky few. Success comes from specific patterns of thinking and acting. When you study people who have achieved remarkable results, you find common threads. They have clarity about what they want. They've examined and upgraded their beliefs. They manage their emotional state. They take consistent action. They learn from failures and adjust. These aren't talents you're born with. These are skills you can develop. This is why Robbins' work is so powerful and transformative. It removes the mystery from success and shows you that you can have what the most successful people have if you're willing to think and act like they do. The power of Awaken, the giant within, lies in its practicality. This isn't a feel-good book that leaves you inspired but unchanged. It's a working manual for transformation. Robbins gives you strategies, frameworks, and exercises you can use immediately. The giant within is not metaphorical. It's the best version of you, the part that knows you're capable of more. That part is waiting to be awakened. The question is whether you're ready to answer the call. Thank you for joining us at Audiobook Bay. Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins is a masterwork for anyone ready to take control of their destiny and step into their greatest power.